David Gordon Green killed the Halloween franchise. I mean, Halloween Ends sucked so bad, it just ruined the entire franchise for me. Or, Rob Zombie's remakes just obliterated Halloween. They ruined everything that it was ever supposed to be. It ruined John Carpenter's original villain. It ruined the franchise. Stupid shouldn't exist. Or, Halloween 5 ruined the success of Halloween 4. I mean, do you know how big of a deal that is? It ruined the return of one of the biggest slashers in motion picture history. Ruined it all, sucked. Or, Halloween Resurrection ruined any chance of getting a sequel after H2O. Busta Rhymes ruined the entire franchise. It's garbage. Halloween 3 was just a big waste of time. It shouldn't even exist. It ruined everything. It ruined the franchise. If you're invested in the horror community, particularly in the Halloween franchise, these are the types of arguments that you probably see on a pretty regular basis. On YouTube, in Facebook groups, on social media, on horror forums. These types of arguments are everywhere, but is any of that true? Did Halloween Ends really ruin the franchise for you? Halloween Kills, Resurrection, Rob Zombie's H1 and H2, H2O, Season of the Witch. Does the existence of any of those films really ruin everything that we know and love about the other films in this franchise? Say it with me. No. Well, at least it shouldn't. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Let's Talk Movies. I'm Brad, and it's been a little while since we talked anything Halloween here on the channel, but I wanted to hop on and share my thoughts because, look, I'm ready for a new argument. Something other than Halloween blank sucked, so-and-so director ruined the franchise for me. We're all our own people. We all have our own opinions. But I think to say that one entry, one single film in this franchise ruined the rest of them for you is a little absurd to say. Now, I will be the first to admit that the Halloween franchise has its problems. It is by no stretch of the imagination a perfect franchise or a perfect story, but I'm a glass half full kind of guy. I'm not a fan of Halloween Resurrection. I don't like what they did with the story. I'm not really a fan of that film at all. It's my least favorite in the franchise, but I still respect it and I'm still happy that it exists. It's a piece of Halloween history and I can appreciate that. I've often said that Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is the biggest disappointment in the entire franchise for me, and that's simply because I was so looking forward to that film, and it just didn't necessarily go where I thought it should go. I still remember the trailer for Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 coming out in 2009, and for an upcoming horror fan, for somebody who was really starting to sink his teeth into the genre, that was such an exciting moment for me. And overall, yes, the movie is a little bit of a letdown for me, but it also has some of my absolute favorite moments in the entire franchise. The hospital sequence in Rob Zombie's H2 is some of the best footage we have ever gotten of Michael Myers, some of the scariest footage of all 13 films in this franchise. I've got a very big love-hate relationship with that film, always have, always will. It's a very complicated and controversial part of the Halloween world, and it's given people so much to talk about. And the same thing goes for the Blumhouse trilogy. Personally, I think people have been way too hard on the Blumhouse trilogy. Is it perfect? No. They're really well done. Jamie Lee Curtis gave us some awesome performances as Laurie Strode. John Carpenter delivered on some of the best music of his entire career. Christopher Nelson made The Shape look the best that he has in years. And James Jude Courtney and Nick Castle made Michael Myers scary again, something that so many people thought was impossible for any film to ever do again. I mean, like the story or not, you can't deny that they were very well made. Now, while I don't necessarily agree, I could see someone making the argument that Halloween Ends ruined the finale of the Blumhouse trilogy because those are three related films within a single timeline. A part 1, 2, and 3 of a 3-act play. A beginning, a middle, and an end. And if you think that they delivered an unsatisfactory conclusion, that's okay. You and I can still have two different opinions on one single Halloween film and both still be Halloween fans. You're not a Halloween fan just because your opinion differs from somebody else or you liked this film but someone didn't. I mean, think of the many different conversations and relationships that we've gotten to have and build with people over the years because of these movies, man. I think to say that the legacy of this franchise rides on one single film is just completely nuts to say. And it negates one of the things that people love most about the Halloween franchise, which is the timelines. I mean, think about it. You hear people say it all the time. Halloween is the choose-your-own-adventure of horror franchises. I mean, how cool is it to say that? If you don't like the Blumhouse trilogy, watch the Thorn trilogy. If you don't like those, watch Halloween 5 and 6. If you don't like Halloween 5 and 6, watch Rob Zombie's films. If you don't like those, watch Season of the Witch. I mean, there's so many different combinations and timelines and stories that have been told throughout these 13 films that we can jump around to whenever we want. So if you don't like one of them, switch and go to the other one. And if you're kind of in the camp that there should have never been sequels in the first place, just watch Halloween 1978 and enjoy the hell out of it, man. If you absolutely love Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2, drink a day-old beer and go roll around in some roadkill. I'm kidding, so don't come at me in the comments. And if you aren't a Myers fan at all, go watch Season of the Witch. At the end of the day, there are so many different combinations available to us. And if you don't like a particular entry in the franchise, it doesn't necessarily have to ruin the rest for you, especially when we're talking about Halloween, because it is the pick-your-own-adventure of horror franchises. Pick another timeline. Pick another chapter in this story and its 45-year history to sink your knife into. And listen, if you're a Halloween fan, be sure to check out our horror show, Purely and Simply Evil, where we take super deep dives into horror classics. We've already made our way through all of the Halloween franchise, and we had an absolute blast doing it, so please go ahead and check that out. And if you haven't joined the Let's Talk Movies Facebook group, please type in Let's Talk Movies YouTube channel -- community page in Facebook, and one of our mods will let you in. As always, we want to hear your thoughts, so please be sure to leave us a comment down below. Don't forget to leave this video a like. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. New episodes of Let's Talk Movies, Purely and Simply Evil, and Classics Revisited premiere every single week at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We drop new videos on Tuesday nights. You guys are amazing. As always, be good to each other. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at LTM Podcast KY. And guys, have an awesome rest of your Tuesday night, and we'll talk to you later. Peace.